Hi, welcome back to day 33 of the Light the World, Build the Kingdom 90-day challenge, where each day we get down on our knees and we ask God to give us one thing that we can do to light the world, to build the kingdom, to make the world a better place, and then we act courageously on whatever we're asked to do. So today's thought is coming from Luke 7:37 through 50, and this is a really neat story. It's a story where Jesus is in a Pharisee's house, and let me make sure I've got it here. I had it pulled up, and now yeah, all right. So Jesus is in a Pharisee's house, and there's a woman who's known in the city as a sinner, and Jesus is sitting down to eat with this Pharisee, and she takes an alabaster box of ointment, and she stands at his feet behind him weeping. She begins to wash his feet with her tears, and she wipes his feet with the hairs of her head to dry his feet. She kisses his feet, anoints them with the ointment. Now this Pharisee, which is watching, he's thinking to himself, if this guy was really a prophet, he would know this lady and that she's a sinner and who she is, and he wouldn't be letting her even touch him because she's unclean, right? And Jesus answers, well, first Jesus he perceives what the Pharisee is thinking. The Pharisee doesn't even say this out loud, but Jesus addresses the Pharisee, and he says, Simon, I have somewhat to say unto thee. And he says, Master, say on. And there was a certain creditor, Jesus says, which had two debtors. The one owed 500 pence and the other 50. And when they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me therefore which of them will love him most. And Simon answered and said, I suppose that he to whom who was forgiven most. And Jesus said to him, Thou hast rightly judged. And he turned to the woman. Jesus turns to the woman and he says to Simon, See this woman. I entered into your house, and you gave me no water for my feet, but she has washed my feet with her tears and wiped them with the hairs of her head. And you gave me no kiss, but this woman, since the time I came in, has not ceased to kiss my feet. And my head with oil thou did not anoint, but this woman hath anointed my feet with ointment. Wherefore I say unto you, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much. But to whom little is forgiven, the same loves little. And Jesus says to the woman, Thy sins are forgiven thee. And then the people around him are kind of marveling that, who's this guy that says he can forgive sins? And Jesus tells the woman, Thy faith has saved thee. Go in peace. So I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, I know in my own life, there have been times where I thought I kind of had everything together, and I didn't think I was judgmental, but then when I went through a time where I really needed some forgiveness and really understood the grace and mercy, I realized, I was a little bit judgmental before. I couldn't understand people who made mistakes, but after I'd made some of serious ones of my own, like, oh, okay, yeah. And that love increased, that compassion, not only for the Savior, but for other people increased. But I was thinking of another angle on this because, a lot of us, we may go throughout our whole lives and feel like we've never done anything really seriously that big of a deal, in our mind. But the Bible does say that we've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. So I've been going through a lot of hard things lately, and one of the principles that I've learned, I actually gleaned from Dr. John Demartini's The Breakthrough Experience. He has you take a person that you're upset with, or maybe you're overly infatuated with the person, but let's take the person you're upset with, and you write down all the characteristics of that person that you consider good qualities that you admire. And then you write down all of the qualities that maybe that get on your nerves or annoying or you see as drawbacks of that person. And you need to have an equal amount of both. If you've got way more bad qualities, you need to find some way to look for the good and see the good in them, so you have an equal list of both. And then he has you go through, and he has you do several things with this list, but one of the things he has you do is to look for all of those qualities in yourself, the good and the bad. And there was an interesting experience I had with this as I was working through, um, actually, with somebody that was close to me who hurt me, and I was looking at the negative aspects and where I had done something similar. I felt this person had been cruel. I felt like they had just made this rash decision off the cuff and didn't include me in the decision, and it completely impacted my world, my finances, my children, everything because of their rash decision. And as I went through it and started looking for where had I ever done anything like that? Where had I been cruel? Where had I made a rash decision that impacted other people? I started to see that I had done in one form or another everything that that person had done that was negative. And I also had a lot of those same, I mean, I had all the positive qualities as well. I had all of them. There were people who could say either good or ill about me on those same aspects. So I think, you know, as we look at this passage, you can look and say, well, I've never done anything really big, or do you need to go out and sin so that you can be forgiven much? I don't think so. I think what it is, we need to look at ourselves realistically. We have all messed up. We have all done something cruel or whatever it is that's bugging us and pushing our buttons that somebody else is doing. We have done it in some form or fashion. And once I started to really see, really grasp where I had done something exactly the same, all of my judgment went away. I could no longer judge that person. I could no longer hold ill will toward them. Sure, there's occasions when I'm like, gosh, he's an idiot, you know, but there's not that resentment, there's not that anger, there's not that unforgiveness, because I see, my eyes are opened, and I realize I want to be forgiven of the times when I did all those same things. So we're forgiven much, we love much. We love not only Christ, but we also are opened up to love other people more as well. So that's what I was thinking today. And I hope you'll join us in the 90-day challenge. We're on day 33. This is such a fun challenge. It's completely shifting my perspective. I could be wallowing right now in a lot of problems and worrying about my own issues or whatever, but this little shift every day and asking how I can make the world a better place, how I can reach outward instead of worrying about me, has made all the difference. And I'm in a really good place. I'm enjoying where I am. And it's really fun to see what God can do just with that little tweak of perspective. So I hope you'll share it. Share this video if it touched you. Put it on your wall, or maybe share it in a private message with a friend. Invite anybody that you know to participate in the challenge that you think would benefit from it. You can just tag them in the comments. You don't, you know, that won't go on their wall. It's just if you tag them in the comments, it'll just send them a little note that, hey, check this out. So I hope you'll share it, because I really want to get as many people as we can doing this challenge so that we can make a positive shift in the world. The little things that we do are never wasted. The good that we put out in the world is never wasted. God can use that to shift the planet, to shift the universe, to make everything change. And we need a positive change in this world. I don't think there would be anybody who would disagree with me on that. So take care. God bless. Have a wonderful day.